We are back for the second match here. We would like to play first. I cannot keep that, that's for sure. Oh, and I kept it. Well, this will be a very quick game. Listen, I'm not going to claim to be a master of MidGo here. I'm actually relatively bad with this interface, but this is a learning experience. I won't make that mistake again. And we just draw a couple lands. We'll be fine. Yeah, this is not happening. All right, let's just go to the next game. All right, they're playing white. That is literally all we know. Yeah, I don't know that we even want to consider changing anything, seeing as we saw nothing. All right, we'll play first. This is better. So we're not going to get anything special next turn that it would have anything special. I can really talk tonight. Anything that has haste, but I guess we'll just get that out there. We can go Headstrong Brute into Headstrong Brute. So we are playing vampires. We are likely going to want to get out there as quickly as possible before they get too much life gain going on. They're definitely going to make this trade, so we won't attack there. We will get a Brute out and pass the turn. Discards 2 cards. Okay. It's pretty brutal. They make tokens in this deck. I don't know the Arsonist is going to be that good for us, but this Queensbay Soldier is really not going to do much either. We can definitely get rid of the Costly Plunder. Since we don't have more lands, I'm not sure I want to keep the Arsonist, because we know we've got 2 spells we can cast here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And our opponent doesn't have any good blocks next turn, so we can keep beating. Okay. So we finally drew the Monster Soar. Well, let's get in there. Get another Brute out. Okay. I would really like to start drawing some more land here. But barring that, so if we attack with these, they can double block either one of these. They could quadruple block, or triple block, I should say, the captain. I'm going to go ahead and attack with all of them. We just want to keep the pressure on here. I think that order's all right. We'll get our Queen's Bay soldier out there. Pass the turn. Okay. Lots of tokens. Land, please. Okay. So if we attack again, they can triple block anything. They can double block anything. I think I'm fine with just getting in there again. We'll get the Tormentor down, make them discard something. They could choose to chump, but it looks like they're not going to. All right, and let's get the Tormentor down. And they got Conquistadors. Okay. I'm not sure I'm too worried about Conquistadors. They are at 5 mana now, so there's a lot of stuff vampires can cast. They could have Vona, which would be not great for us. But I'd really like to get that Mark of the Vampire down. Territorial Hammerskull. That makes our attacks quite a bit worse. Okay. So if we attack now with the Dire Fleet Captain, it becomes a 3/3. They double block. We kill the Hammerskull. They take 4, bring them down to 2. We play the Scoundrels. We can't really... We don't really have good attacks here, so I'm just going to play the Scoundrels. Because the other option is we attack with all of this stuff here. That's 6. They have to block, so they block. They could just eat the Queen's Bay soldier or eat the Tormentor. They could chump something else. I'm not sure. Our opponent's not going to be attacking us with that Hammerskull next turn. I'm going to wait one turn. Hopefully we can get another land to throw the Mark of the Vampire on a creature. I think our opponent is... They could remove something here. They could try to get rid of the Scoundrels if they have the 3 mana destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Okay, they're going to play a Legion Conquistador. So we do have to get through this pretty quickly because depending on how many they get, at the very least, they're going to just fill the board with 2/2s that stop all of our stuff. So it looks like they got one of them. Yep. Okay, so it looks like they only have 3 in their deck. All right. So we can't really attack here. I mean, we could actually. So if we attack with the Dire Fleet Captain, the Tormentor, the Scoundrels, this becomes a 4/4. They have to block it with 2 things. I'm not sure I really like the position this puts us in. I'm going to get the Deadeye Tracker down. If we wait one more turn here, we could get that Mark of the Vampire down. Our opponent is a little bit flooded, so I'm not as worried if they kill the Scoundrel. Okay, another 4. Still a little bit wary of getting too aggressive here. They have 2 white open, so they could get the first strike. The 1 mana +2/+2 and first strike for a vampire. We could just choose to attack and make our opponents have to block. But with us not having any more mana, I really don't like the idea of them coming back from us just having no mana here. They are going to cast something. Destroy target creature, power 3 or less. Okay. So then we're definitely not attacking. We'll certainly get to explore. Actually, we probably should have explored on our turn. Okay. So this is a problem. They are probably going to start attacking here. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Let's get... I guess the creatures first. Okay, so now we're definitely getting punished for not exploring on our turn. So that was a mistake. What is the best course of action here? The cannons. I want to finish this game before the cannons can do anything. With us being a little bit short on mana, it doesn't really help us out all that much. We could make the Scoundrels really big with the Mark of the Vampire. Let's see. If we put that on the Scoundrels, well, they can just chump block. It's not really going to get through. So they've got... Let's see. I think we are now, unfortunately, in a little bit of a defensive position here. The cannons, we don't really need the options from that. We have the Monstrosaur, which is going to get in next turn. So we make this a 6/5. I'm not sure what the right move here is, actually. Let's put this on... Just spread it out a little bit. I don't know if this is really the right option here, but we will find out. Okay. So now they're going to start swinging in with lifelink here. They'll get us for 3, go up to 9. Yeah, we're really getting punished for not exploring on my turn. This has just been a pretty bad match in general. Punting right away in the beginning. Okay, this gives us options. So if we attack with everything here, if we can get them to take 5, then we can unfriendly fire them. So what happens if we attack with everything? They can eat the 1/1. They block the Wanted Scoundrels on the Anointed Deacon. I would think they don't, because this is too much of a too powerful for them right now. So I think what we want to do is Monstrosaur, swing with the big guys, and then hope to get them next turn with the unfriendly fire. Don't really know what's in their hand, but this lifelink's just going to get out of control too quickly for us to deal with. So we're going to attack with these. Now the question is, do we want to force through any more damage here? I think we just go with these. If they do, this is plenty that they have to make blocks. If they do decide that they want to give up that beacon, which I doubt they will, I think they'd rather get rid of 2 of the conquistadors because they're going to need to gain that life. We'll see what happens here. Okay. So we'll definitely kill off that hammer skull if we can. Okay. So this is not too bad. I'm guessing they have the first strike in hand. That could be, that's probably what they have. Okay. We'll see if they cast it. This works out all right. I think if we can get through for a point of damage next turn, we just get to unfriendly fire them. At this point, they can't even attack. Okay. Oh, and we have the Dark Nourishment as well. Okay. So we just need to get through 1 point of damage, a net 1 point of damage. So attacking with the Deadeye Tracker does not help us that much. If they choose to trade it off for the Vampire, they gain that life back. Yeah, let's just attack with all. Okay. I think this is all right. All right. So now that we know what we're actually up against here, what do we want to bring in? I mean, the Skittering Heartstopper might just be a main deck threat here. Anything that doesn't look good against this deck. Prying Blade. Prying Blade on the Rigging Runner is maybe a little better than I thought it would be, but we are on the draw. You know, I think let's just run it back. We'll see how it goes. This seems decent. We've got something on 2, something on 3. The Lance cast them 3 turns to get the Mark of the Vampire up. Let's keep that. Okay. Let's see what you've got. Non-creature, non-land. They just have Inspiring Cleric. They have the Queen's Commission. Okay. Non-creature, non-land. We'll take that. Next turn we'll get the Brute down, and then hopefully we can get the Mark of the Vampire on our flyer. Okay. No sense in attacking here. Okay. Come on through. I'm really not a fan of the Legion Conquistador, but I mean, I guess it works. All right, so what do we want to do here? We can attack with a Headstrong Brute. It will, I mean, they could double block. And then we take out the Skyblade, which will let us get in the air. I don't think we saw too many other flyers in the first game. Unfortunately, we're off black here, so we can't really make two plays. We could get the Deadeye Tracker down, but they don't have anything in the yard. The Wanted Scoundrels just gets traded off for a lot of stuff. Queen's Bay Soldier is not particularly good. So I think what we could do is, I want to start getting more lands. They're going to probably block anyway. We could just attack with the Brute. This seems relatively aggressive. I don't know that it's a good play here. It's actually probably bad, but we'll see. If they let it through, they let it through. We get the damage, and then we'll cast probably the. You know, maybe we still get the Wanted Scoundrels out there. Okay, they're just going to take it. Why not? We'll pass the turn. It gets another pirate, so our Headstrong Brute gets to remain menace. I'm just going to dismiss these. Okay. So they're going to get to swing in for either 5 on the ground or 3 in the air, most likely 3 in the air. I think actually they will be swinging for 6 here, at the very least. Need to close that chat. I don't want the reminder of my oopsie. Yeah, sometimes you just make mistakes. We do not have a good block here. I can't give them the treasures for that. All right. So I would have preferred that to be another swamp, but now we can put the Mark of the Vampire on the Kitesail Freebooter, and then they just can't really do a whole lot. They can't really attack in the air anymore, and then we sort of shut them down there for a little bit. We could put it on the Headstrong Brute, and then that becomes a 5/5 Menace lifelink. They double block with the Conquistador and the Anointed Deacon, and then we're still left with the problem of the flying guy. I think putting it on the flyer and trying to race them could work out, because at the very least it nullifies that. It makes it a little harder for the flyer to be killed there, although they have both the 4 or greater, 3 or less kill spells in their deck. Putting on the Wanted Scoundrels gives them I guess they're likely to double block either way, whichever one we put it on. Putting on the Wanted Scoundrels and then giving them the treasure, it's probably better to put it on the Menace here. Let's just do that. We're going to put it on the flyer. I think overall that's going to be better. So if we attack with all, we gain 3, go up to 14. then they can attack us back for 4, 9, go to 5. This doesn't seem like a great racing position. If we had another black and I knew that we could, you know, just fill the board with blockers here next turn, I would likely attack with all. But not having another black mana and knowing that we're going to get one creature on the board, I don't want to extend too far here. That was actually pretty smart to put the +2 on the Conquistador. So now we could take 7, go to 7. None of our blocks are good. We'll take it this time. Next turn we will be forced to block here. They're probably going to cast the other Conquistador. Let's see if they search for another. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't grab all of them at once, but that's fine. Maybe they thought we had some more. Well, yeah, we did have the discard, so the soldier that discarded. So okay. Really, the only thing we can do that's even worthwhile is the Queenspace Soldier. Unfortunately, we're definitely mana screwed, and this time it didn't quite line up with our spells as well as it did last time. The Deacon's good. It can be a 5/3 for 5. It can pump up all your flyers. And I think these Conquistadors are going to be bad in most decks, but just being able to load so many of them out like this when you have nothing else to spend your mana on turns out pretty good. Okay. Goodbye, soldier. I think our opponent could actually be a little more aggressive than that. Okay. Thank you. So, if we... You know, I think we just pre-combat, we get the Deacon with the Dark Nourishment. They could have the +1/+1. We send in with this, we gain 3, go to 10. Let's try it. This Arson is just far worse if you have to play it this far into the game. Because right now there is almost nothing they could want to spend their mana. Oh, I did not have a stop in their main. Okay. So in this case, I think we're still going to kill the Deacon. Another example of needing to get a little better with this interface here. So that's another 7. Do we want to take another 7? I think we can. Because they can make it 9 at the most if they have any of the pump spells in their colors. Okay. So if we attack with all of these, they can block 1, they can block 2, they take 3. We deal another 4. That's not good enough. We could get their flyer. We could drop the Arsonist. They could try to double block the Scoundrels and then we blow up the whatever else. I think for now we just get in with the Freebooter. Is a little bit more conservative. All right, and now what do we want to do here? So we could drop the Arsonist. We just get a 4/4 body. We could leave up Unfriendly Fire. They have 1 card in hand. I wouldn't mind getting another body on the ground here. It is going to trade off for one of these, so it's kind of like keeping up Unfriendly Fire. But we make them sacrifice a permanent. Sure. Of course, they're going to just sacrifice a land, but that's okay. Okay. I like that. And I like that. Okay, so we now have multiple plays. So what can we do here? I think at the very least we're going to attack with the Freebooter. That brings them down to 9. We might get them into range here if we're careful enough. We attack with the Brute. They can double block with just 2 of the Conquistadors. The same with the Arsonist. I think I'm feeling a little bit less likely to just sort of jam everything out there with sort of the misplays, and we're kind of behind because I punted a couple times. So I'm just being a little bit more careful here. All right, the rest of our stuff are instants. Costly Plunder is not bad if they try to remove something in this case. I'm not sure what we would throw away. They're going to play something. Okay. Hammer Skull, that is fine. Okay. So if we attack with everything next turn, what can we do here? So they can block everything, and then we die on the crackback, probably. I don't think we're going to live long enough for the tracker to really do anything, so I'm going to get rid of him right now. Okay. So that's pretty good. That gives us a little bit more ability to do stuff here. So let's go ahead and swing in again with the Freebooter. So actually, if we attack with everything, so they block there, they double block here, they block at worst. We need to get through at least 5. I don't know that we would. Let's just go ahead and do this again. At some point, they either have to kill it or block it. Okay. So now next turn, I think they really have to get a lot of stuff here to go. Okay. So that definitely helps a lot. Okay. So we could attack with everything. They're going to gain 3. They can block. They have to put 2 on here, 2 on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 1, 2, 3. I kind of like our chances here. I mean, this is just a lot of damage. And I think there's a good chance they could make mistakes here. There's not really any blocks here that leave them with much in terms of creatures. So, okay. This blocking order, I think, is okay. Okay, so now the question is, would we rather, let's see, what's going to die here? So we're going to lose this. We're going to lose this. That sounds fine. Okay, and now we drop the Arsonist, and they have to have 2 blockers to not lose the game next turn. So I think we just attack all again. I guess if we attack with just that, that brings them down to 6. I mean, I'm not sure what else they can do here. They can destroy a creature. They can jump block and stay alive. They could have 2 removal spells. That's totally possible. Okay. So they're going to take 7 there. This is maybe a little bit reckless. They could try to gain a lot of life. Okay, there we go. There was the X spell that gains double X life, but I don't think that they were really coming back from that. All right, so we salvaged that despite pretty massive punts, so I'm kind of happy with how that ended up turning out, but we definitely made it more difficult on ourselves there. I say us like there's anybody else behind the board here, but definitely glad how that turned out. Let's head on into the next match.